Hey guys, Grace here, and today you may notice the setup's a little different because I will be drawing a unicorn or, well, if you saw my last video, what's in my pencil case, you saw, one of my frozen fan art drawings, and you sure saw, the way I like to draw things, like my drawing style. So today I will be drawing a unicorn in my drawing style. I also, in the next video, I will be drawing a unicorn, a Pegasus, and an earth bunny from My Little Pony Fantasy's Magic front, like profile, so looking straight at you, and from the side as well. And for the Pegasus, I will be doing like the bent down thing, what Rainbow Dash does, and some poses. Anyway, I would like to give a shout out to GF Waffle Gamer for suggesting this and being really nice in the comments, so thank you. Shout out to you. So I will be drawing this. Okay, I'm just gonna get an objective, that's random. I'm gonna get a feel of where the paper edges are and where you guys can see, because it's not the full length of the paper, because this is not even the size of my hand, so it's clearly not a piece of A4 paper. I dropped my pencil. But I will move the paper up and down, side to side, so you guys won't miss anything. I'm also resting on the book, so yeah. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start by drawing it from the side, I think. Yeah, yes, right? Okay. So, I'm a little nervous. So I'm starting by sketching a kind of ovally shape. Like so. Looks good. And then I am going to do it profile, like on the side. So she's gonna have a little bit of a nuzzle, so then I want to smooth out so it's not as blocky. Sorry if my camera's a little fuzzy towards this side, but that's just because it's not used to drawing the paper and it being like so in focus. And then, like all of my other characters, I'm gonna give it a really chubby cheek that's too big. So it's also a case of trial and error and using your crayon rubber if you have one, which are just amazing. So, obviously I don't expect you to get it first time, but because I didn't. But we're going to try and go do a really light straight line across where we've ended the nozzle shape. And it's kind of like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. It's slightly based off that because they are the unicorns that I know and love. So, it will be that. Based on that, so you see where the bottom of the line is, so it'll be the bottom up there, and we want to extend this down a little bit more than that side, just so it adds up, right? And then we're going to kind of do like a C, like a capital C, but it won't look like a really chubby hamster. We're going to go a diagonal line like this, and that allows us to make it look a bit more like an actual face. Where did I put the rubber? 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to go and find the rubber because I can't find it. Okay, guys, I found the magical crayon rubber. And if you're wondering where I got this from, I got it from the stalls in Stockton. In Stockton Town, the little Christmas stalls. Because as I'm filming this, it is the 6th of December, and I have got a cold. So, yeah, So it's pretty close to Christmas and I'm really excited. So tell me in the comments below, guys, what do you want for Christmas? And if you celebrate Christmas. And if you don't, then tell me what you got for another holiday. Like Hanukkah, I think, something like that. Or things like that. And I hope you guys all get what you want, or have got what you wanted. So now we're going to go into the ear, and I like to draw the ear towards the back, because that's where the ear is. So then it's not too squished up towards the horn, and it just looks really neat. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go like this, kind of like a curved point thing. And then I'm going to do a straight line like this. But it's not really straight, it's kind of curved to one side where you want it to be facing. So if the unicorn was facing that way, the nose would be over here. And that line would be going off in that direction. But instead it's kind of curved over to this direction because this is where she's looking. And for the unicorn horn, I'm going to first start, and you can make it as big or small as you want. I'm going to make mine a nice size. Start off with just a point and go like curve lines up, like so, and then lump it out in between the lines. So you're kind of drawing a C in between the lines. Straighten it out. You should get something like that. Now, we're going to make sure all of these are nice and straight and nice. There we go. And now, using our rubber, you're just going to rub out these thickened lines. So you should be able to see it very faintly. And then we're going to trace around like so. So you have this shape. Then just straighten out the lines. Then you have your unicorn horn. Now you can make it as pointy or rounded as you want. I'm just going to make mine a nice mix of both. It is a case of trial and error. But I'm happy with that. It's kind of curved up a bit. But you can make it what shape or size you want, but following these techniques you should have a nice horn. But you do want to go curved like this, so it's kind of like an ice cream cone. That way it just doesn't look like, it looks more attached to the head, I think, when we like add in the hair. However we want to add in the hair, this line will fade in with the hair, and it'll look very natural. Well, as natural as a mythical creature can get. So we're going to now go into the eye, and I'm going to look at a reference picture because I have not drawn in forever. So I'm going to check a reference picture, and we're going to get started on the eyes. Okay guys, I have my reference picture and I am now ready to go. So, I don't know why I need a reference picture for my own style, but I just do. So we're going to start with a nice oval shape, like we did with the head. Also, we want it to be filling up, like if you split the face in half, we want it to be filling up about a quarter. So there we go, nice and big, so it looks really cute, and pardon again. So it looks really cute, and yeah, just so it looks really cute, and kind of like how we did with the head as well. But we're not going to be smoothing it out or anything. That's just how we want it for now. And then it's just a case of repeating it smaller and thinner, and then smaller and thinner, like so. And then this one on the inside, I'm going to add a sparkle. The sparkle is going to indicate where you're looking. So I want mine to be looking that way. So we're going to just draw a line there, so we can see where the sparkle, like glisten kind of, the glisten kind of thing is. And that normally indicates where they're looking because the light's flashing and stuff. And yeah, and then I just coloured it in. And also you can get whatever eye colour you want. Go over. I think mine is going to have a blue eye because there's only one eye. And you're going to go over the first half. There we go. And we're not going to smooth. We're not going to colour in the other half because then it's very all squashed together, this eye. So then you wouldn't be able to see that's an eye because there wouldn't be the actual eyeball whiteness. Anyway, we're going to add some shading because it is slightly anime. So first, we're going to draw like a straight line underneath to be like the cheek. Then we're just going to, if you've ever drawn a tornado before, it's kind of like that. Just the zigzag starts to get smaller and smaller, kind of like that. So it's like you do a straight line and then the straight lines get smaller, like so. I'll rub that out at the end, but that's just a nice reference. And mine's going to be a girl, so I'm going to add some really cute eyelashes just by, you know, flicking it out. 1, 2, 3. I normally like to add 3 because it's a nice number, and the first one to be more like a triangle, just so they grab your attention and you don't not see them, if that makes sense. So now we're going to go into the nose, and it's just going to be a tiny little C, like curved line going like that way, like a banana really, and then that's just going to be like represent the nose, so we know that the nose is there. And then we're also going to add a smile, just a nice normal smile. I'm sure we've all drew a smile before. And now it's time we rub out that halfway line. And you can see now we have the bases of our unicorn head. And we're going to move down a little bit so we don't run out of paper. And now the head is going to curve inwards like so. And this one's going to curve inwards like so again. So we have, so they've curved down and almost met, but this is where the next one to form, so we don't want them to meet. We're just going to do a curved line there for the neck, and then we're going to make this line a bit straight but slightly curved, if that makes sense. So it looks like this. Then we're going to keep going down with this line and add a curve, and this will be the thickness of your body if we just add that line in straight. So it's like a curved backwards L, and straighten that line out almost to the edge of the page. Don't worry, your unicorn's body isn't going to go very long and bean shaped, but just so we have an idea the thickness, we're going to also straighten this one out a bit, and that one will be the thickness. Should turn out about an inch, maybe somewhat about an inch thickness, and that's, I think, a nice size. And you may notice you've added a little bit of a sharp edge, which we don't like because sharp edges are scary. Well, they make your character seem darker. So if you were drawing like an evil unicorn, you maybe want to add that sharp edge. But if you want just a nice normal unicorn, I suggest curving all the lines out. But not on the neck. Well, not too much on the neck, because that can seem like the neck's more attached to the head than it actually is. So we're going to go along through a little bit. Now this is where you can really add character. You can rather make it go on very long, or you can make it end here. It's really up to you about this. This is where you start creating your unicorn and not just a copy of mine. I'm going to end mine here because I think it's nice, you know, just a little bit off the head. So we're going to curve it round like so, and you end up with a nice curve. but you want to make sure that curve isn't very blocky because we don't want that. You could make it blocky if you wanted, but I think it looks better more curved. And of course, we all know what that is, so I'm not going to mention what it is. And then we're going to curve down, just go down on your paper. So now we want the legs to be the length of the head, so, but not exactly, but just get a feel, you know, okay, about that big. Then you move down, okay, about there, I would say, so about there. You could be precise and use a ruler if you wanted to, but I don't really think it's something that you need to use a ruler for. But that's just my opinion. Now, you may notice that it's quite original, but still very My Little Pony, and that isn't going to change here. It's going to be very pony, My Little Pony-like legs, but you could add things to it or make it look less or more. It's really up to you. As I said before, the bottom part of the body, it allows you to be you and create your own and not just a copy. So we're going to start by curving around and back out again. Not like that, because that was just an epic fail. You're going to have it so it curves down and out, and that will create your foot line. Then you're just going to kind of copy it, but less curved, and round the edge out on the bottom. And there you have your first leg. So now you could go like this, make it fluffy, you could add a little dent in it, you know, just really make it original. But I would like mine to be more of just a very normal one. I might add the fluff in though, because I like that. I think it looks very original, but that's completely up to you. And as I drew that, it's just kind of curved U's, kind of like if you joined a lot of U's together. That's all it is, and it just makes the animal look more furry, like it should be, because unicorns are furry. Then you just want to go back maybe 1 centimetre and draw another line. So we have 2 parallel lines about 1 centimetre apart. Then you're going to do half of this is going to be like the back leg for the front, if that makes sense. Like the leg what's further away from you on the front, and we're just going to repeat this process here and curve it. And it's very important, you can't just have one hoof like that. It's very important that all of the hooves are the same or very similar. So we're going to have that U shape. And I'm just going to give my camera a little break because it's been a bit fuzzy. So I'll be back with you guys in a second. Okay guys, my camera's fuzz has calmed down, but great. Now I can't find my pencil. Where are you, Mr. Pencil? Okay guys, I'll be back in another second to find my pencil. Okay guys, I'm back. I found my pencil and I'm ready to draw. So now we're just going to repeat this first process along the back. So we get, and we're going down to the bottom line, just like this one, because this is the back leg what's closest to you. And we're just going to repeat that process. It may take a few tries to get it similar as you want it to be, but eventually you should get there. And then, of course, I need to add the little fluff, but you certainly, oops, don't have to, if you haven't added it already. So, now this back leg won't be behind, as I've been making that mistake for about a year now. I only realised very recently that the back leg should be like in this area, So luckily I didn't make that video back then, or it would have been so ugly. But we're just going to repeat the process, but this time how the front leg looks, how the front line looks instead of the back line. And we will get this, and of course the fluff. So here we now have the, make sure you all have all your lines. You have your unicorn body. Now, if you wanted to stop here and create your own kind of hairdo, but if you're still sticking around, that's great, because now we're going to draw hair and how good ways to add the hair into the pony, and you could be very My Little Pony Friendship is Magic about it, and have, you know, like in a human hairdo, like it could be wavy or something, you know, like a human, or you could draw it like a horse and have it going around its neck. It's really up to you, and I am going to have it wave around kind of like a My Little Pony, but you could of course add it. In fact, I've changed my mind. I'm going to do it the way I do human hair, but it's down and legged, so I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to start from behind the ear and come round, and then as we get to the bottom of the head, we're going to make a point and come back and down again. This way we're adding the seeable layers. Now when you get to here, you can kind of keep going straight down or curve, so it's going along the back. I'm going to keep going straight down though, because just for the simplicity of this video. And then as it gets to the bottom, we're going to add a little flick on the end, and then just join that one up to the neck. So we're just going to add a straight line right the way up to the back of the head. We have something like this. Now, of course, hair sprouts from here as well, doesn't it? So, we're going to start from the front of the arm where we have this line. That line's going to follow through. We're going to add a straight bump here, one here, and it's going to gradually get lower, so it joins up, and then finally one here. And it's okay if the point goes into that hairpiece, because that just adds a bit more texture to it. And this top line here doesn't really need editing at all, just making a bit thicker, because it's just the line joining on. Not really anything too impressive. But there we have the hairstyle I have chosen. You could do it any way you want, really. And then for the tail, I'm going to repeat the same process but a little differently. We're going to start by going in the middle of the curved area and making 2 points outwards like that, and then a little straight flick. I'm going to call this a flick. I know it's not, but that's just for the simplicity of this video. I'm going to call it a flick. And then we're going to add another one and keep going down, and I'm going to end it about here though, maybe just to be a bit shorter, because I don't really feel like it needs to reach the ground. I feel like this is majestic enough. So then you join it up, and it's okay, like you could do outwards flicks or inwards flicks along the way. It just really adds to your character, and you may notice now that when I've joined this up, it doesn't join up there where you'd expect it to. Well, that's just fine, because to be honest, it shouldn't really join up there anyway, because it will just look a bit silly, really. But there we have our unicorn. Oh, nice. And of course, if you wanted to, you could add a cutie mark. I'm not, because GF Waffle Gamer's request was a unicorn, not a My Little Pony unicorn. So I'm just going to leave it without. I feel like I've done enough My Little Pony. Well, I've taken enough ideas from My Little Pony. Now you could colour it any way you want. The only thing that I say has to be done, or should be done, is inside the ear, which is this part, wherever you've flicked, should be this colour. because it's like a peachy colour, because that is the inside of the horse. It's like I don't want to freak you out, guys, but it's like the horse's insides, isn't it? Really, it's not furry. Like if you like feel inside your ear, you'll see that it doesn't have tiny little hairs on it. Well, it sort of does, but I'm not going to go into the complications of it. It just looks like that. It just does. Okay, and of course, you could add hair accessories or whatever you like. But the final thing we're going to touch on before I end this almost half an hour long video is the magic that comes from the horn. Now you could argue that there isn't any actual magic, or that unicorns don't have magic. But for the purposes of My Little Pony, I want to say that they do have magic. For this video, of course, you could just not add this part, and it just be a non-magical unicorn. Now, if you draw the unicorn and you don't want it to be using the powers, not saying that it doesn't have them, just saying that it's not using them, leave as it is and colour your pony in. But if you want it to be using magic in the picture, then stick around, as I will show you how I feel it should be done. Now, but I say that it sprouts from halfway, the magic starts sprouting here. So we're just going to add little kind of upside down raindrops very gently, just two either side. And then we're going to add some getting closer to the top. And then at the very tip, we're going to sprout out magic like this. And then you can make the magic any colour you wanted. And then say she was levitating something, just still going to draw a very quick cup. Then that would have a wavy line around it, like a wave bubble. And you would colour the cup in the colour it was you intended it to be. But then all this inside the wiggly part would be the colour of the magic. And that's her levitating. Now, personally, I don't want her to be using magic, so I'm just going to make it disappear. And of course you could draw the magic a different way, but that's just how I feel it should be done. I'm just quickly redrawing the horn. And there we go, that's the unicorn. Now, I'm not going to colour it, because I want this to be a very open tutorial, very open, so you could change it in any way you like to make it more you, or so you like it more. So all I say is, if you